minute to talk to you guys about something that is very important to us. But before we do that, by a show of hands, how many of you guys have ever either seen bullying or have been bullied yourselves? All right, that's a lot of people. And if you noticed, we all rose our hands as well. And that's because we were all bullied at different parts of our own lives. And right now, we'd like to share our stories with you and tell you a little bit about how we overcame bullying in a safe and positive way. And I'm going to start us off. So my name is Cruz, and aside from being the drummer for Reverse Order, I was bullied all throughout different parts of my own life. Elementary school, middle school. You know, I even still get bullied sometimes to this day. But for me, bullying was really the worst when I was in 5th grade. Because when I was in 5th grade, I moved to a new town. And you know, when I moved to the new town, everybody there already had their group of friends. They knew who they sat next to on the bus, who to eat lunch with, who to hang out with after school. And for a really long time, I was having a lot of trouble fitting in. And people were picking on me and making fun of me, you know, just because I was the new kid. And they didn't even know me that well. And eventually, after months and months of coming home from school every day, feeling like I didn't have any friends, feeling like I didn't belong there, I decided I need to find out where it is that I do fit in this new place. So how many of you guys play on a sports team or something like that? All right, that's a whole bunch of you guys. Well, I thought maybe I could try out for one of the teams at the new school. Maybe I can make some friends there. So I said, okay, what could I do? What should I try out for? And I figured, all right, I'm really tall. I'll try out for the basketball team. Seemed like a good idea. Turns out, it was a terrible idea. Apparently, I'm just really bad at basketball. And I probably got made fun of more after that. But you know, I didn't let that stop me. I tried out for a whole bunch of other things at the school, and I ended up joining the swim team. Now, the swim team was great for me when I was getting bullied, because I did find that group of friends I was looking for. We practiced together every day after school. A lot of those people are still my friends to this day. And aside from the other kids on the team, I also had the coach and the assistant coach I could talk to whenever I was still having problems with the bullies in school. But the best part about being on the team for me was I found that I really loved it. And I got really passionate about it. And it gave me something to do with all my energy instead of worrying about what people were saying to me in school. So now when someone picked on me or made fun of me or said something I might not have liked, instead of getting upset about it like I used to, now it just made me want to swim faster. It made me want to practice more. It made me want to get better at that thing I love doing instead of worrying about the people in school who were just there trying to put me down. And by doing that, I ended up getting really good at swimming. I went to states, nationals, I swam in the Junior Olympics every year, and for 2 years in a row, I was the best backstroker in New Jersey. And you know, I think a lot of that really had to do with the bullying, actually, because unfortunately, sometimes, the bullying doesn't always necessarily stop. But it's how you choose to handle it that changes, and that can make a really big difference. And for me, I found my own way to take all of those bad and negative things I was finding with the bullies in school, and I found my own way to turn it into something good and positive in the swimming pool. And you know, that really helped me out a lot then, and it's even still how I try to approach any problem I find now. Taking those bad things and finding some way to turn it into something good. And that's my story with bullying. Everything that kills me makes me feel
Hey guys, my name is Drew, and for me, I was bullied when I was in middle school. And the reason I was bullied was because of the way I looked. And what I mean by that is, well, when I was growing up, I was the fat kid. And everybody liked to pick on me just because I looked a little bit different from everybody else. And while this started with teasing, as the months and months went on, the bullying started to get worse and worse. And I started to realize that whether you were big or small, how you dressed, or even doing something like performing on stage, sometimes there are going to be people that want to bring you down and want to make you upset. And you can't always control that. So I decided that if I couldn't change the bullies, I was gonna work on myself. Now, how many of you guys like to sing or play a musical instrument or always wanted to do something like that? All right, well, that's a whole bunch of you. I actually started when I was in the 2nd grade, and I've been playing music ever since. So when I was getting bullied, I decided that music was gonna be the thing that I threw myself into 110%. So I walked through the halls, I joined any band I could find, I even did the marching band, the concert band, anything I could do to get myself more involved with music. And by doing that, I found a place where I fit in and I found my group of friends. But the important thing is, I found my own way to start focusing on all the good and positive things in my life, like my music, like my friends, instead of getting hung up on the bad and the negative things, like the bullies. And even when I found myself thinking about what those bullies were saying about me, it didn't bother me anymore because I knew that I was good at something that I love to do. And because I figured that out for myself, my life started to turn around. I was happier. I had the friends who I needed somebody to talk to. Eventually, I found these guys, and the good things kept on coming. For starters, we were semi-finalists on America's Got Talent, which was awesome. We just went on a sold-out tour all the way in Russia, which was just incredible. And all these great things keep happening because whenever something comes up against me, like bullying, I have my own way to overcome them. And that's by taking the negatives and turning them into something positive. And that's my story.
I'm losing control, I can't seem to stop. I'm clinging to hope, 'cause it's all that I've got. Your head seems to float, you're showing the face. You're dreaming now, so I'm going to stay.
Hey guys, my name is John, and my story is a little different than Cruz and Drew's because I was not bullied in school. I was bullied outside of school in music, which is the thing that I love the most. Now, Cruz and I are brothers, and when we were younger, we used to go to a program called the School of Rock. What the School of Rock was a program that took a group of students, they'd put you in a band, and for 3 months you'd practice together, you'd rehearse together, you'd learn new songs, and at the end of those 3 months, you'd put on a concert. So it was a lot of fun for us, and it's really how we got into performing music on stage. Now, one time we were doing a concert for a band called the Rolling Stones. For those of you who don't know, the lead singer of the Rolling Stones dresses a lot different than the average person. He wears women's pants and a very tight-cut shirt. So, being the singer of this performance, I thought it'd be a great idea to ask my mom to borrow her pants. I got a very tight-cut shirt, and people laughed at me even though I looked really good in it. And what hurt the most about this situation was the people who were making fun of me were my friends. They're the people who I'd been working with, the people who I built relationships with, and the people who I trusted. And that hurt a lot more to me than if it was someone random at the show that I didn't know. And for a while I thought to myself, maybe I'll change and do the performance like everybody else. But I decided to follow through with what I wanted to do and with what I thought was right, even though people were making fun of me for it. And that turned out to be a good decision because at the end of the show, all those people who were making fun of me, they started coming up to me and complimenting me, saying that because I was able to get into that role, the show was much better for it. And that was a really good feeling, knowing that by following through with what I wanted to do and with what I thought was right, that I could change the minds of those people who were originally just trying to make fun of me and put me down. Now fast forward a few years, we were on America's Got Talent, and how many of you guys have seen that show before? All right, that's pretty much everybody. America's Got Talent was an incredible experience for us because we got to perform live on national television in front of 10 million people. Our friends were there, our family was there, everybody who we wanted to be watching was watching, and we had a great time. Until we got home, we started seeing all of these negative comments coming in on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And that's when we started to realize how big of an issue cyberbullying was, because now people didn't have to be at a concert to bully us. They could bully us anytime they wanted, from anywhere in the world, over a cell phone or a computer. We started to notice this after performing on TV. People were saying things like we're horrible singers, horrible musicians, that we should never perform together as a band. They were making fun of the way we looked. And it got so bad to the point where people started to threaten us just because we were on TV. And this shocked us because here we are, we didn't do anything wrong to any of these people. We didn't even know these people. But for some reason, they wanted to bully us and put us down for doing something that we've worked so hard to do. So we did get very upset about it for a while, until we decided to make a change. And that change was the first, stop looking at the things that people are saying. And second, work on ourselves. They said we weren't good singers, we practiced singing more. They said we shouldn't perform together as a band. We practiced more as a band. We did everything that we could do so that if somebody wanted to bully us or put us down, it wouldn't bother us anymore because we knew we poured our heart and soul into something that we were truly passionate about. And that's the common theme in all of our stories. We were all bullied at some point in our lives, but we found something that we love that we could focus on turning all of those negative things into positive things. And that's one of the main reasons we're here today and we're able to travel the country, performing concerts and speaking to students, is because we were able to do that. Before I finish my story, I just want to say one more thing, and that's if you are getting bullied or something is going on in your life, make sure you have somebody you can talk to about it, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a friend, someone you can talk to just to get those emotions out, because it really does help, and you'll be much happier for it. And that's my story.
Right now, just shout it out. What is the first letter in the word party? P. You guys can do way better than that. What is the first letter in the word party? P. The P in our party stands for passion. It's really important to find your passion and your purpose, to listen to your heart, set goals, and to work towards them. For me, I was having a really hard time fitting in a new place. And for a while, I didn't even really know where it was that I wanted to fit in. Eventually, I found out that place was the swim team, but for you, it could be something different. Maybe you're great at basketball. Maybe you love to sing or draw or dance or act. Whatever you love to do it 100% and don't let anybody stop you from doing it. What's the next letter in the word party? All right. A stands for attitude. Also really important to be a positive person with a positive attitude, to see all of the opportunities in front of you and not necessarily the obstacles. Because even when you know what you're passionate about, you're practicing or working really hard at that thing you love to do, someone or something might get in the way of that. And it could be something really little, or it could be something pretty big. But as long as you stay positive and keep on trying, things are going to get a lot better, a lot faster.
All right, guys, what's the next letter in the word party? R is correct, and that stands for respect. Now, it's important to respect people such as your parents, your teachers, and your friends, and you can do that by being well-mannered, well-behaved, and considerate. It's also important to be respectful of other people's differences and to respect yourselves, because the differences aren't bad. They're not the things to bully each other for, and they're not the things to beat yourself up over. They're just the things that make us unique and the things that make us the people that we are. Now, what is the next letter in the word party? T is also correct, and T stands for trust, which means it's important to be an honest and kind person. I know it may seem easy sometimes, and even a little tempting, but there's no reason to do dishonest things such as lying, cheating, and stealing. And whenever there's a problem, it's important to trust in yourself to have the courage to do what is right, and to also have the courage to not do what is wrong.
All right, so far we have passion, attitude, respect, and trust. What is the next letter in party? All right, you guys are paying attention. As Drew said, our party has 2 T's, and that second T stands for thoughtfulness. This one's pretty simple. You just have to be a good person, you have to be a kind person, and you have to be aware of the different things that you're saying and doing towards other people. Some people are more sensitive than others, and some people are stronger than others, which is perfectly okay, but something that might not hurt you could hurt somebody else. So it's important to be aware of those things. And it's also important to treat other people not only how you'd like to be treated, but how they would like to be treated. And what is the final letter in party? Correct, and Y stands for you. And what we mean by this is you need to be the change that you want to see. If you see someone getting bullied or you see anything you don't like, make sure you speak up about it. Tell a teacher, tell a parent, tell someone who can get involved. And if you're getting bullied yourself, make sure you speak up about that as well. I know a lot of times we think that if we tell someone we're getting bullied, that the bullying is going to get worse. That's not true. If you tell someone, chances are things are going to get a lot better, a lot quicker than you thought. And that's our word party. Those are our stories. We hope you guys learned something or heard something you could take away from that. We'll leave you guys with one more thing, and that's to remember to change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove yourself from the unacceptable.